Hallo zukünftige Deutsche und Deutscherinnen. Wie geht's heute? Ich spreche auf Englisch. Welcome to today's lesson. Last lesson we covered the very basics of the very basics. Hi, how are you, why, that sort of thing. Today we are still on the basics of German, but we'll be covering some more questions and responses, with particular focus on the thing on the screen in front of you. Favorites. Aber zuerst, hallo, wie geht's? For me, I would say, mir geht's fantastisch, weil ich einfach glücklich bin. What would you say? Also, los geht's. Zurück zu Deutsch. In German, to say what your favorite of something is, you need to start with Was ist deine Lieblings? Sorry, to ask somebody what their favorite is, you need to start with Was ist deine Lieblings? Or deine Lieblings for masculine and neutral. And then add whatever the thing is on. For example, to make what is your favorite colour, you say Was ist deine? Then you take Lieblings, meaning favourite, and then this word here, Farbe, which means colour, and you change it to Was ist deine Lieblingsfarbe? Like so. Note that Lieblingsfarbe is all one word. This is called a compound word. Let's do it to the other ones. Was ist deine Lieblingsfußballmannschaft? What is your favourite football team? Was ist deine Lieblingssprache? What is your favourite language? German, obviously. Was ist deine Lieblingsbeschäftigung? What is your favourite thing to do? Learn German, obviously. So practice using Was ist deine Lieblings? Also, was sind die Farben? What are the colours? Here are a few colours along with how to say that they are your favourite colours. Try practicing them. Here are the pronunciations. Rot, blau, gelb, rosa, lila, orange, grün, braun, schwarz. Football teams, a very sensitive topic for some. For Americans, Fußball is the German word for soccer. Anyways, if you want to talk about an institution with a foreign name, you don't change the name of it most of the time. This is certainly true with football teams. Try using the vocab on the screen to say what your favourite football team is. You don't have to use Liverpool, Manchester United or Manchester City, by the way. Right, a speaking activity. I want you to read through Heidi and Hans's conversation, and every time there are dotted lines, say a suitable answer that would work there. Pause the video and have a go. Here is something you could have put. Remembering Auf Wiedersehen was a bit of an extra challenge for those who feel they have grasped what we have done so far quite well. Let's move on to a new question. Wie heißt du? This means, what are you called? The strange B-looking symbol in the middle of the word represents a double S, so pronounce it as such. Wie heißt du? Ich heiße. Hans, Sophiechen, Leon, Ben, Hannah, Marie, Mila, Louise, Emma, Elias, one of those. Like I say, to respond, you would say Ich heiße, followed by your name. Have a go at practicing that with your own name. A reading activity, Aktivität lesen. Read the following text and then answer the questions I'm about to put up, flicking back to this text if necessary. So I'll read it to you. Hallo, sagt Heidi. Wie geht es dir? Na ja, sagt Hans. Mir geht's schlecht. Warum? fragt Heidi. Weil ich mich niedergeschlagen fühle, sagt Hans. Und du? Wie geht's dir? Mir geht's gut, sagt Heidi. Ich muss jetzt gehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Now, some of the things in there are things we haven't learnt yet, but they're red herrings and you won't get asked about those, so try to ignore them and just focus on the bits you do know. So, I'm about to put up the questions, but like I say, keep skipping back to this bit and referring to the text if you need to. So these are the questions. Number 1. Does Heidi greet Hans formally or informally? Does Heidi ask Hans how he is, formally or informally? And then that was question 2. So question 1, does Heidi greet Hans formally or informally? Question 2, does Heidi ask Hans how he is, formally or informally? Question 3, true or false? Hans is doing great. Number 4, why does Hans feel the way he does? Number 5, true or false? Heidi is doing well. Okay, so remember, flick back to the text if you need to, and answer all of these if you feel confident to do so, and I'll put the answers up in a second. Okay, so here are the answers. Mark and correct your work if needed. So, number 1, does Heidi greet Hans formally or informally? She says Hallo, and that is informal, so she greets him informally. Question 2, does Heidi ask Hans how he is formally or informally? Well, she could have been more informal, but in order to be considered formal, she would have to have said Wie geht es Ihnen? But she didn't, she said Wie geht's dir? So you could kind of have put both of them because she's not the most informal, but she's certainly not the most formal either. But informally is the answer we're probably going with. Number 3, true or false, Hans is doing great. That's false, falsch. Hans says he's doing bad because I think he says that he's feeling down. Yeah, question 4, why does Hans feel the way he does? Because he is feeling down. Question 5, true or false, Heidi is doing well. That's true. Hans, rather thoughtfully, asks her how she is after he says that he's not doing too well. Anyway, let's move on. Here is the verb heißen, to be called. The infinitive is heißen. This means that to say I want to be called, you would say I want heißen. We will cover wanting things soon. Obviously, you would say ich möchte heißen, not I want heißen. But heißen means to be called. Okay, first person singular means that if you were saying I am called, you would say this here, ich heiße. The bit in brackets means ich, I, and then heiße is the verb. So ich heiße, I am called. Okay. Second person singular is you are called, just one of them. So if you're talking to your friend, you say du heißt. Hopefully your friend will never forget what they are called, but if they do, now you know how to help them even if they're German. Du heißt. Du heißt Heidi, du heißt Hans, du heißt whatever du heißt. Third person singular is he, she, it is called, and that is he, sie, she, es, it, heißt, the same as the second person. Most verbs, the third person and the second person are different, but with heißen, du heißt, and sie, es heißt are the same. First person plural means we are called, wir, we, heißen. Quite often with German verbs, wir, the wir verb, first person plural, is the same as the infinitive, like in this case. Wir heißen, heißen to be called. Second person plural is something we don't vary in English. If you're talking to a large group of people, you still refer to them as you. Now in German this is a bit different. Last time we said that if you say Wie geht es Ihnen, you're being very formal and you're referring to somebody you're speaking to as though it's they. Well, ihr heißt, or ihr, is a similar thing. So second person plural, if you're speaking to more than one person, you can say ihr heißt. So, I don't know, if you're speaking to a group and you're telling them what the name of the group is, I don't know, you would say ihr heißt die Deutscherinnen. Okay, so third person plural is they. They are called. Sie heißen. Try practicing that verb over and over. We will recap and do some activities with it next lesson, so don't feel like you have to do it a lot, but it is an important verb. So, one more time. Infinitive, to be called, is heißen. First person singular, I am called, ich heiße. Second person singular, you are called, du heißt. Third person singular, sie, es heißt, he, she, or it is called. First person plural, we are called, wir heißen. Second person plural, y'all are called, or you plural are called, however you want to say it, doesn't vary in English. Ihr heißt. Once again, that is the same here as the third person singular and the second person singular and the second person singular, apart from the pronoun. This will not always be the case, especially in verbs where there is an umlaut in the infinitive, or where the infinitive is not the same as the first person plural. So the final one, third person plural, they are called, once again, sie heißen. So also, to go through it really quickly, heißen, ich heiße, du heißt, er sie es heißt, wir heißen, er heißt, sie heißen. Ich heiße, du heißt, er sie es heißt, wir heißen, ihr heißt, sie heißen, and then heißen to be called. So if you just keep going through that in your spare time, and we will recap it and do some activities with it next time. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Auf Wiedersehen.